What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and Tezos. And then if I have time later today, I want to get into Litecoin, Digibyte, and Theta. But right now, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Link, and Tezos are going to be the four that we're concentrating on right now. And what we're doing is hitting that target for Bitcoin. We're up there around $13,000. Right now, we're sitting at $12,941. We're down 0.35%. And what we had yesterday, we had about tweezer tops up here, pretty close to these tweezer tops. And that came right at our resistance area at $13,167. So what I would anticipate now is either moving sideways for a while we cool this RSI down, which is at 80 right now, or potentially back onto this 12,305. This green line right here, this was the area that was previous resistance that we would want to become support. Our 20 EMAs all the way down around 11,715, so we've gapped away from that, and typically you will pull back onto that. You can see over here when we typically spike hard, we may have a few more days where we try to go up more, but a lot of times you'll get pulled back onto that 20, and we've had just an explosive move here. So in the days to come, I wouldn't be surprised if we either move sideways a little bit to cool everything off, or we pulled back down to this 12,305 before we potentially could get that next move up through 13,167. But the thing like we talked about is when you start to see some of these resistance areas with this long wick, both days, you have some profit taking here in the short term. With the RSI as high as it was, many times you just need that cooling down period in the market so the market can breathe before you can make that next move to the upside. Because really think about it, guys, this move went from 11,300 all the way up to $13,167 without us cooling down. So we're going to need that breathing process. And I believe we're starting to get into that point now. And what you can see, the oscillators are cooling off because we're in those overbought territories. Overall summary, 5 sell, 6 neutral, and a 17 buy. Oscillators, 4 sell, 5 neutral, and a 2 buy. But this is where not financial advice. If you're a long-term investor, this is where you want to continue to sit in these positions and let this intermediate to longer term trend ride out. And you want to ride these things out. But in terms of swing traders, this is when you're trying to, capitalize on a move after this. There's a lot of people taking their profit at this resistance, anticipating some type of retracement or a cool down before they go long again. Okay, but we're up above our 20, our 50, our 100, and our 200. And also, guys, if you get some from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share with your friends. We're going to get into Ethereum next, and sharing is one of the best things that you can do to help out this channel. I try to be as transparent as I can with everybody. I don't want to feed you fluff. Just really want to put the technical analysis out there and look at this price action. That's what this channel is all about. So if you get some from that, let me know down low. So what we're looking at here for Ethereum now, we're at $417. We are hitting our next overhead resistance target, which was at $417. So I want to see how we respond with this. We had some heavier volume here. The RSI is at 66, so we still have more room. For Ethereum, we truly could run up to around 438, even potentially up to around that 476 before we really start cooling down. But it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin all of a sudden says, we're going to really pull back $700-800 to cool everything down, then I'm sure we could see Ethereum back around this level of 378 as well, which we want to turn green. So we'll turn that green for us here, and this would be the support level, which was previous resistance we broke up through. What we're trying to do is keep these higher lows intact, and what I do, I like to draw a trend line for these. So this is the trend line right here that we would want to respect in purple. If we get into the technicals for Ethereum, we're looking at a 2 sell, 8 neutral, 18 buy. Oscillators very neutral right now. 2 sell, 7 neutral, and a 2 buy. Up above all the moving average. So up above the 20, the 50, the 100, and the 200. And that's exactly what you want to see in an uptrend. And you can just see we want to continue to hold this longer term uptrend that we've been dealing with. Okay, so that's going to be Ethereum. If you're here for that, let me know down low. We're going to move into Link next. Link's one I like to trade. It moves really fast and aggressive. You can see we've kind of changed that trend now. We were dealing with the downtrend, lower highs and lower lows, and then this is where we switched it. We've had our higher low, we've had our higher highs, and now what we're trying to do is keep this moving. The next overhead resistance area I'm going to look at is $12.77. Then it's going to be up around $13.60 are the next overhead resistance targets that I want to look for. In terms of support, we want to continue to hold this this trend line right here. We'll put that in yellow. And I would also draw this as well. We want to continue to keep these higher lows intact and keep moving in this uptrend. Now we're trying to change that trend out of the downtrend. that we are dealing with. We're at 60 on the RSI. So also, you know, if Bitcoin, if it wants to cool down a little bit, many times Bitcoin pumps, and then the money from Bitcoin, when it gets overextended, starts going into the altcoins, then they pump, then it goes back to Bitcoin, and it's just back and forth. So this is one that I'm definitely paying attention to. I've been playing a position since around $8.60, just slowly letting it creep up. That's the main thing I'm trying to do, is swing trade this. So if we take a look at Link here for the technicals, we have a 2 sell, 8 neutral, and an 18 buy. Oscillators 2 sell, 7 neutral, and a 2 buy. And I also want to point it out that we went from our swing high to our swing low, and now our reaction that we've had is up to that 0.382, which is a tough area to get up above, and that's at $12.12. So let's also watch this area here. I'd put a little box right in that spot. So that's going to be Link. If you're here for that, let me know down low, and then we will move into Tezos next. And Tezos is at $2.23. Right now, the RSI is sitting at 50, so we still have a lot of room here. And the main thing that I like about Tezos here is we've really retraced hard. From the top, we ended up hitting about $4.58, right up in this range. And since then, we've lost over 50%. Right now, we're sitting around that 222. But one thing I wanted to point out is we're still holding this purple trend line here. This is where we would want to see a bounce off of. We'd want this to be defended. And what you also see here is higher lows coming in on the RSI, with the RSI being at 50 here. So we kind of had flat price action, but the RSI was gaining some strength. So for me, I would look to see if Tezos can get up above 242 is going to be the area, and then it's going to be up above that 200 moving average, roughly at $2.52. But one of the things I like about Tezos here is kind of like Link. It's one of the market leaders when the altcoins run. Okay, a lot of money comes into it very fast, and we've been very suppressed for quite a while now. And also, if we can ever get over top of that $4.50 up there, then we really could have those blue sky breakouts and things could get crazy. But typically when this coin runs, it runs really hard. You can see here how we had that rounded bottom, then it just took off. Same deal. I think we're trying to find one of those bottoms down in this area here so that we can start reversing that trend and starting to move to the upside here is something that I'm looking at there. And then if we take a look at the performance, we have an 8 sell, 9 neutral, 11 buy, oscillators 1 sell, 8 neutral, and a 2 buy. So the oscillators actually are looking a little better here on Tezos than most coins. But this is one we've continued to hold this macro uptrend, and I think it could be a decent one for a longer term hold down the road. But that's not financial advice, of course, guys. But if you get some from this, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. God bless each and every one of you. Take care, my friends.